All right, friends. Finally online here. So I apologize if you saw my previous stream. I was having some troubles with my broadcast system. It got frozen, and you know how that stuff goes. Okay, so let's see. I do want to just check that you can hear me okay. And let's do this. Let's transition ourselves over to the demo portion of all of this. Now, here's what I'm doing. My name is Jim. I have this channel, Results Press. Results Press is my business, and it's an agency. We manage websites for small businesses. And by manage, I just mean like WordPress maintenance and that kind of thing. We do some social media maintenance, although I try to minimize that. And just focus in on taking care of people's website stuff in the background. That's the main part of our business. We also do web development and websites. That used to be our main part of our business, but as time has gone on, I found that I wanted to get away from the once-off type of business model like websites tend to be, and get more into a recurring revenue type business model. And that's where the maintenance thing came in. So with the maintenance thing, it's like you're already working with businesses who have a website. They kind of have gotten to a point where they need some help, and that's basically what I offered. So it's a good model. Now in this live series, this Ask Me Anything, I'm talking about HighLevel because as I've done this WordPress stuff for a long time, I've gotten really tuned into the point that it's like amazing how there's so many different tools that businesses need for marketing. And it's like, it's amazing how many people, businesses, affiliate marketers, online digital content creators, whatever, are still working from the same model that existed, 15 years ago, which was you have a website, right, that you put online. You hire some sort of email autoresponder system like Aweber. If your business has gotten big enough, maybe take on some sort of social media management tool, right? Maybe if your business has gotten big enough, want a phone number, like not a desk phone, but like a phone number that you can use online for marketing, or series of phone numbers, right? Maybe you want a relationship management tool. I didn't used to want that, but now that I've got one in HighLevel, it's like amazing. I love it. And as an agency person, it's like, how do you help people with all of those different tools? Do you sign them up for 15 different things? And frankly, I've never enjoyed that, and so I miss out on some opportunity there by not signing people up to those other services. But at the same time, it's like, how many things can you be an expert at? And so that's where HighLevel has like blown me away, because it's got everything together in one place. And so you don't have to sell all of those things as an agency to a small business. Obviously not all small businesses want a marketing phone number that they can use for texting customers and stuff like that. Some need it more than others, but they don't necessarily need a relationship management tool. But the cool thing is that you've got it all in one place, and you can choose your price as an agency Go HighLevel subscriber, and you can sell people these, the access to an account, charge whatever you want, and give them access to basically whatever you want too. So if somebody just needs a website, then you can just give them a website. And the benefit there is, like, instead of WordPress where you got to keep it up to date and deal with plugin updates and theme updates and choosing themes and design stuff and all of that, it's like a funnel builder, right? So any of you who have had the chance to try out ClickFunnels or any of the funnel builders, and I'm talking about the good funnel builders outside of WordPress. WordPress is really not a good drag and drop funnel builder system compared to ClickFunnels or System, or those kinds of tools. It just doesn't even compare. Like, WordPress is still very hands-on as it relates to building marketing tools and marketing websites, right? And if you've got experience with that, it's like, man, then you know that having that kind of ease of creating websites and stuff for your web design is like way better than having to deal with coding your own CSS and customizing fonts and shit like that. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, there's a time in my life where I really liked the HTML and the CSS, and it was like, that was what I wanted to be good at, is the code and stuff. But after having built so many business websites and stuff, the customizations and stuff really don't matter. It's like the offer, the message, the getting the site done in a timely manner. Those are the things that help the business and keep you in business as an agency person, right? Like, you can't spend weeks at a time building somebody's site from scratch so that it's custom, custom websites. And that used to be such a selling point. So anyway, HighLevel sort of is the best of all the worlds, and it's a fantastic email marketing tool. The automations are amazing. And the fact that you can spend $1 a month for a phone number and then be able to SMS text people that sign up to your forums and stuff like that is also amazing, right? And there's an integrated calendar too. So, if you're building a website for a salon who wants to make it so people can book hair appointments, then you connect the owner's Google Calendar into HighLevel, put the calendar on a page so that people can book times. It goes right into the owner's calendar in Google, and then you can build all these automations that email and text follow-up messages as the appointment comes near. And like, there isn't an additional charge for that calendar and stuff. I mean, the price is higher than Calendly by itself, to get HighLevel. It's higher than hosting on WordPress, or higher than an individual active campaign subscription maybe. But at the end of the day, if you combine the price of all those things together and the headache of managing them all, then and you're able to have everything in one place, then it's like, that's pretty amazing. So that's why I've really grown to like HighLevel. So let's get into it. Let me transition the screen over here to what we're working on, and let's get busy. Let's get into HighLevel. So I thought what we would do today is just build a quick funnel. All right, so here we are inside of the HighLevel dashboard. Okay, and I'm in basically what's called a sub account. When you have HighLevel agency like I do, then what happens is you'll have kind of like your agency dashboard, which is where you manage some very sort of top level items in your business in this tool, because it's a piece of software, right? Like, this is where you brand it to be your own, and set up the emails and the domains the emails will come from and stuff like that as a default. And then you have a concept called sub-accounts, right? And each sub-account that you create is basically, I would think of it like it's its own business, right? I mean, you may create a sub-account for each different website that you have, but they're set up in HighLevel as being capable of being a completely different, separate business. And this is where, if you're an agency, like every customer that you bring in and build a website for, you set them up as a sub-account, because then you can basically connect them to Stripe, right? So they can accept payments through their website. You can connect their own calendar to it. The sub-accounts are totally independent from one another. And you as the agency owner can basically see them from the top down and manage them each individually. And you can actually even share websites and funnels into those sub-accounts. You can share automations, all of those different things. So it's super cool. Now, have any of you tried HighLevel? Maybe leave me a note in the chat. Let me know when you join so that I know you're here. All right, so let me grab a drink of water here really quick. It's my jug of water. I'm trying to drink about a gallon a day. It's a lot of water. All right. So when you're inside a sub account, like I'll do a different, overview on just the whole agency sub account setup in HighLevel. And I actually do that in a course I'm creating that anybody who signs up through my link to join Go HighLevel gets access to how to set up your whole agency, or if you're not doing an agency, how to set up everything inside HighLevel so that you're raring to go. And I've even got a snapshot I'm sharing which has some cool automations and stuff like that. So, and we'll talk about those as well. Certainly if you have a question, guys, it's a Q&A, so make sure you put it in the chat, and I'll take care of it for you. All right. But once you're inside your sub account, then you just go over here on the left side to sites, okay? And yours may be totally empty when you get in here. You start on the funnels tab, okay? And basically we have like funnels, websites, blogs. These are just different areas within the quote unquote sites area that you can manage. And so you can build courses in this tool and have like a membership area, right? So if you're offering courses or that kind of thing, then that's definitely possible. They've also got a really sophisticated form and survey system, which is cool. But today we're just going to focus in on making a quick funnel for capturing leads for an agency, okay? And I'm going to show you how this looks. You're going to be blown away. So make sure you're over here on funnels. We can also do this in websites. They're very much the same. But if you don't see anything here, then you're just going to say create new funnel in this big green button, okay? And let's give it a name, okay? So I'm going to call this one live demo. And then instead of saying create funnel, let's go to the template library, okay? This is where the real power of HighLevel comes in. And a lot of funnel builders, right? I mean, they're not alone in providing cool templates, but this is where, if you've been using Wix or WordPress or something like that for a long time, then this is like next level stuff in here. Much better, as you would expect, because the price is higher as well, right? Okay. Now, there's a couple of things, there's all these different categories, right? Let's just go down here to marketing agency, okay? Now, there's a search feature too, so we can do something like lead, and just type that in and say, oh, let's get leads for our SaaS agency. Okay, and just choose a template like that. Digital marketing leads, we can choose that. Marketing services leads, let's choose that. Okay, and we can kind of scroll through and see what this page is going to look like. This is a pretty big page, but that's okay. We may just delete some of the stuff. I like simpler lead pages, but that's all right. You can kind of see what you've got to work with there. I mean, essentially what this does is it's already got like a pretty nice looking style. All you have to do is edit the text, which is a huge time saver. And I mean, why not? Okay, so we'll just say continue up here, get this template, and then that just downloads it into this sub account from like the Go HighLevel cloud. Losing my voice here, so. Okay. Okay, there's my chat window. Didn't seem to catch that, did it? Law firm leads, marketing services. Okay, so let's grab that again here. I don't know what happened. Seemed like everything got a little wonky there for a second. Well, maybe we'll try a different one. Okay. Doesn't seem to want to add it, does it? Ah, here we go. Just had to leave the page. All right, so now we're in there. Usually that page refreshes, but sometimes when we're doing these live streams, it just causes Google Chrome to not refresh the pages quite the same way as they usually would. So, all right, now we've got a really simple lead capture page here, and there's going to be a couple of things we're going to have to do. Like, we're going to have to work on the design here, but we're also going to have to create a form, right? Because capturing leads means having a form where the people's data comes in, right? So you'll see your launch checklist. These are your pages, all right? And this was one of the things I was talking about, which is so cool in a builder like HighLevel compared to WordPress, for example, is when you are creating something in here, they already understand that you're going to need like a series of related pages for this system, right? And so I get a home and a thank you pre-built for me. I don't have to like go and manually create those, and you know, if necessary, like keep the design the same between the two and stuff like that. Okay, so let's go in here. I'm just going to click on that image, and that'll open up the edit screen. Let that load up. That'll take a million years because we're doing this live. Doesn't want to move very fast for me, does it? There we go. All right, so everything is basically like a box. Okay, so if you've done any kind of web development before, then you've got a pretty firm grasp on this, but if not, then essentially you've got what are called sections. Inside of a section is like a row, and inside of the row is like columns, somewhere between 1 and 4 columns usually. And then inside those columns are the elements of the page, and the elements are basically the things like a logo, an image, video, that kind of stuff. Okay, so the green boxes are sections. Okay, and so if we click on that, then you get to edit these things over here. You can kind of see what happens if you mess around with the padding. I would encourage you to just mess around with this stuff if you're not 100% sure how to use it, but if you are comfortable with it, then yeah, that's good. All right, so what I'm going to do is we'll just delete the logo from there. Okay, and let's do this. Get your very own SaaS company. All right, and then you just edit the text. Start today and sell tomorrow. I'm not very good at writing copy online here, but I'm sure you can probably hear my dog barking in the background. Hopefully he'll come inside soon. All right, so now we can just leave that image. That's fine. I don't have another one ready for this, so. Now you can see here, like these blue boxes are rows, and in here are a bunch of columns. Hold on, let me just see if I can maybe get my dog to be a little more quiet here. Okay. Let's see, let's just take off the mic here. Oof. Hey Grace, could you come and shut my door, please? Okay, so got that taken care of. At least a little bit. Okay, so now once you've made changes, you want to be sure you save stuff, because that's one thing about HighLevel, ClickFunnels, all these different builders is like they don't really auto save. You've really got to kind of manually save, and so you don't want to forget to do that. And when you click save the first time, they're going to make you update the metadata for the page, which is basically just giving it a title and like a description and stuff like that for search engines. So yeah, do those things as you can. Now what I'm going to do, just because I don't want this extra space up here, is just delete that. Okay, so we just get everything a little closer to the top of the page. And now what's going to happen here is when I click on this button, you're going to see that brings up the edit stuff for it over here, right? And here, let's make sure I've got the chat over here so I can see it. Okay. Now, you can do a lot of stuff, like you can play with colors and, you know, that kind of thing. That's not really what we're here for, but that stuff is all possible. What we are here for is to understand, like, what's going to happen when somebody clicks this button. Okay, and in this case, it's going to scroll to an element. All right, so that happens, and then it's probably going to scroll to a form. Yes, here's our form, and it's going to go to this. So if you can't see this text, basically what it says is you do not have any forms. So we're going to set one of those up here in just a minute. Okay, so get in touch now so we can begin. All right. And this stuff we'll just delete. We'll keep this pretty simple. So all of these buttons probably have the same action, which is scroll to element. Now, there's another thing we can do here, which is just create a pop-up. Either one works just fine, right? But the thing we're going to need is a form, right? So let's do this. I'm going to say, let's just get rid of some of these rows here that we don't need, and kind of get people into the form a little more quickly, right? Doesn't that sound good? Okay, so let's just delete that section, and then we'll be able to leave some of this stuff here as testimonials and stuff like that. Okay, so click Save. And now we're going to bounce out of here, and we're going to go to Forms, okay, because we got to get this done. And we're going to go to Form Builder. Okay. And on Form Builder, it's super easy, okay? We can just get first name. I like to get phone number, email, and then we just need a button. Okay, so let's click on this button and go ahead and center it. This is one of those fun things. Text is centered. Subtext. Okay. And the button itself, let's go for full width. I kind of like that better. And let's make it blue. All right, so that's our basic form. Now, I just keep the form super basic because once you bring it into the page, you can still put text around it and stuff like that. No need to really dress up the forms in the form builder itself, in my opinion. Okay, so that looks fine. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and just make sure if there's like a save here. I don't think there is. Yeah, save. Okay, and we can even go from here to integrate this form. So like if you're wanting to start using HighLevel before you kind of migrate websites and pages into the tool, or let's say you're an agency and you're doing some work for a customer, like they don't necessarily want a new website, they don't want to migrate into the whole HighLevel thing with a brand new site, you can still create forms for them and then leverage HighLevel's automations and email marketing and texting and all that stuff by creating forms here and then just taking the form and integrating it into the site they already have, right? So you already know how to do that probably, but it's just as simple as pasting code into their site so that basically then it opens a pop-up or they click a button and a new page opens or that kind of thing. So that's how that works. Okay, so now we've saved it. Form 0, I should rename this maybe. We can do that in the options up here. Okay, so let's just call this basic form, basic lead capture form. Okay. On submit, now this will take them to a page or, you know, that kind of thing. I'm just going to leave that empty for right now. Okay, so we're all saved up there. Let's go back to our funnels here. Marketing services leads, and then we'll click and open up our page. Okay. And now, right here where it says you do not have a form, we just click on that box. Okay, if you didn't see that box or you're just starting from scratch, I'll show you. You just go in here and say form, okay, and then that adds it. So forgive me for my losing my voice here. Okay, now what we can do is integrate our form, and that's done right here. Okay, so we just click on this to get the edit section, scroll down if you have to, and then we'll just choose our form. All right, so that looks pretty good. You know, in all honesty, it might, yeah, that's fine. Let's just go with that. And then redirect actions. So what happens when, so you saw in the previous page when we were editing the form that we could tell it at that point to redirect to a different link or display a message after somebody submits the form. We just left it empty, right? And I recommend you do that too, because when you create a form, you can basically use it in pages. When you create the form and just leave it generic, you can integrate it into various pages and then kind of control that stuff from the actual funnel itself. So that's what I recommend doing. And in this case, we just want to go to next step. And that's where, when we go back out and look at the funnel, what's going to happen here is, okay, I'll say save, and then now we've got a form in there. Next step is just going to be this page. So this is what's really cool about HighLevel and funnel builders, is when everything's kind of organized together as a funnel or a site, you can basically just have these pages kind of go to the next step. So you don't have to specify the URL here and know what page it is and worry about what happens if the page name changes or, you know, that kind of stuff. All those little things that kind of can create all these headaches down the road, you just aren't a worry anymore in these funnel builders. So that's something that's huge about HighLevel. Okay, so we've created a simple lead capture form. Let's say preview on this. Okay, so I'm just going to go back. There is a preview button there, but we can also do that out here. Okay, so see this little button, and then this will basically see our page name up here is our live demo. And if we click the button, it just scrolls us down the page to the form. Okay, easy peasy. All right, so how are we doing here? Are there any questions? Let's look. Even if you don't have a question, just pop in and say hi. Okay. Well, why don't I leave it at that then? We've set up a basic funnel, and now we've got a lead capture. So that's how those things look inside of HighLevel. And in the next live that I do, we'll connect everything up into a form. We'll connect all that form data into an automation so that people who sign up get an email or a text and you know about it as well, so that we can go from there and start doing business with them. All right. Hey, thanks a lot for joining me, and look forward to doing this again.